Yes.
It is official that Ben Affleck has been casted by Warner Brothers as the brand new Batman.
Yes, to be teaming up with Henry Cavill in Batman vs. Superman. Now, for all of you at home, you all know that I was the one that had been talks about Affleck all the time. I've been a big fan of Affleck for my entire film-loving career. And this makes me more excited because we all know how much I love Batman. I love Batman more than Superman, obviously. Hello, Tracy. I also love Batman beyond any other comic book character. He is my comic book character, and Ben Affleck, I think, is incredible. And I think if anyone can do it, he can. Now, a lot of people are talking negative, like this man said.
No, a lot of.
Oh no, you're excited.
Because I'm excited about it. But
Yeah.
a lot of people aren't like, no, especially on the internet world.
No, because everyone wants to bring up
all
Daredevil.
the trolls are coming.
Yeah, the trolls, and everyone wants to bring up Daredevil, which was almost nearly a decade ago.
That was still him though.
It was him, but it was over a decade. What were the last few movies that he did?
But I'll give him
Remind us.
this. The past 3 have been nothing but excellence at his peak.
And
It's
Ben
just
Affleck,
beautiful.
everyone has to look at his longevity. They always want to pick on Geely and Daredevil. There are a few mess-ups, but you have to look at the better ones. We have Good Will Hunting, we have The Town, we have
The
Argo,
Town, my favorite Ben Affleck movie.
Gone Baby Gone. These were all
Gone, baby,
films
gone,
that Ben
gone,
Affleck
baby,
came-
gone.
So if anyone's gonna be in the Batsuit, I want Ben Affleck to be in the Batsuit. But I'm not gonna believe it 100% until I hear Ben Affleck confirm it.
We know he can get buff as hell.
Yes.
We know he has a good body from The Town. But is he cool?
looks. I think. Why does it? You're the second person to say that. Was that just you?
No.
I think Ben Affleck is very cool.
Dr. Raider made a good point. Is he cool though?
I think Ben Affleck
Bruce
is
Wayne
totally
is
cool.
No, Bruce Wayne is like, you're supposed to be like, I want to be Bruce Wayne because he is a billionaire playboy pimp.
I think Ben Affleck is very cool, and I think without the beard, I think he could pull it off. I think you could trim it down. You got to think of his old school days where he's cool. But at the same time, he might want to play Batman a little bit different. We might want to see a different Bruce Wayne. I've seen Bruce Wayne be cool plenty of times, but there is a very also awkward, not so sociable Bruce Wayne that we might need to see. He might bring something different to the role, and that's what I kind of want to hope for.
And he is playing it as a 40-year-old.
Yes,
to
a
go
much
off the Dark
older
Knight
Batman.
Rises, so
The
he's
Dark
not going to. I don't think they're trying to play off the playboy as much because he is the older Batman.
Because even at the end of Dark Knight Rises, we know that he kind of goes a little bit more isolated and becomes a little bit more
recluse, if you will.
Yes, a recluse, if you will. But Ben Affleck being Batman's the greatest news ever.
So huge
I'm in
news.
heaven.
Next 10 years, we're gonna see Ben Affleck as Batman's. At least 10 years, because we got at least. They're gonna do at least a trilogy with Ben Affleck.
Well, they're talking about they want to do Batman Superman 2015, and these two.
Yeah. No, but they're gonna do those two,
Oh,
Justice League plus 3 solos. And so next 10 years, Ben Affleck is Batman.
Ben Affleck.
And we'll be back because this is actually for The World's End. And we're back.
Gotcha.
All right, so The World's End.
Yes. There's a trilogy of these films. Shaun of the Dead with Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright as director. He came out with Shaun of the Dead about 2002, which was a huge hit in the UK, and it trickled over here, and people has a huge cult following now. They followed it with Hot Fuzz, which is a parody on action films and things like that. Also got really big here, not as big as Shaun of the Dead. And now they have our third film, The World's End. Again with the trilogy of Edgar Wright, Nick Frost, and Simon Pegg. So I was excited for it. We didn't really talk about my expectations beforehand, but now here we are, so I figured I'd just recap you a little bit. The World's End is good, but it's nowhere near as good as the previous 2 films. I don't think there's a movie that could touch Shaun of the Dead when you put these 2 in it. Granted, I love these characters. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg are some of the greatest chemistry you could have in a movie. Their relationship is so strong. When you watch them on screen, you absolutely fall in love with them. Simon Pegg has a really good performance in this film. I think his character has a lot of heart. The movie has a lot of heart, and that's one thing I absolutely love about The World's End. But the movie just kind of wanders, and it kind of a little bit not really sure what it wants to do, but overall I enjoyed it.
So that's the full-on audio visual review done by ChaseandCinema.com.
Audio and visual. This is the beautiful thing about DSLRs.
It is, but if you want to read and understand the true reason why he gives it the reason he does, ChaseandCinema.com. This movie out of 4 stars is going to be receiving.
I'm not sure yet. It's going to take a little bit of thought, but it's nowhere near as high as it should be. So it'll probably be around the 2.5 range.
Around the 2.5 range. ChaseandCinema.com.
Yes.
Push that thumbs up.
Yes.
Hit that subscribe on his channel, ChaseandCinema, YouTube.com/ChaseandCinema. My channel,
Give this man some love.
YouTube.com/HSUMJames. That we can see all the cool stuff I do all around Las Vegas, and you can hear from the mythos himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the gentleman who you're seeing him now on YouTube, but is going to become huge in the movie community. I'm truly excited about that.
Make sure to check out our interview. We got to interview Stephen Grant, the
This
writer of
is
the Two
huge.
Guns comic. That eventually became a movie with Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg. We got to interview him. We got to talk about how we got involved with the movie, how Two Guns got sold, and things like that. Very interesting. Check out our podcast. Search us on iTunes.
Even more interesting though is if you read or watch the review, he only gave it a
2.5.
2.5 out of 4.
Stephen Grant had
the
some-
real writer of the movie goes up to him and says,
What did you like about the
why did
movie?"
my movie
But if you want to hear more about how that went down, you have to check out the podcast now.
Yes, and podcasts are awesome too. Until then, Facebook and Twitter, do all that good stuff social media wise. And until the next episode, it is huge. Batman versus Superman. It's going down. We know what's gonna happen. They're gonna hate each other, then they're gonna love each other. I don't know if they're gonna bust out the kryptonite ring or what they're gonna do.
So, you know, we had Dark Knight Rises, you had Man of Steel, but we never really had to go head to head. So me and you are gonna it's gonna be a tense theater of me and you sitting there watching that movie.
The movies in 2015 are huge. Batman vs Superman, Star Wars Episode 7, Avengers 2. Jeez.
Oh, it's gonna be a busy year for us.
It's gonna be fun. We will see everybody
next week.
soon.